have you been doing searches or like what's been since then other than the phone records? What have you been doing?
So we were really trying to wait on those phone records because that was crucial, because up there where he went missing, it was explained to me. So we had a canine unit come out, and the man with the cadaver dogs explained it like this, and he explained it perfectly. It's like looking for a needle in a stack of needles, in a stack of hay bales, in a stack of needles. Because it's literally over 80,000 acres of land, of wooded area, old mining roads, old logging roads that, because now you can ride side by sides on the pavement and everywhere else. It's roads up there that the side by side people have just created and you can ride through.
Sure.
It's like a million gazillion places that we need to search. And, we have conducted 3 searches.
Is this how you spell it? This is right.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Go ahead on the searches. Sorry to interrupt.
Yes. And so, so if you pull up like Little Trap Ridge, West Virginia.
Little Trap Ridge, West Virginia.
Yep. If you pull that up and go to maps, it will kind of give you an idea of what we're looking at.
Just
right
wilderness?
There. Yep.
Okay, gotcha.
There you go. And I mean, it's up and down. There's ponds, there's holes that we don't know about. There's caves, there's all kinds of things. We have held 3 searches. The weather was fighting us. The day that we had the biggest search, which is, I say biggest, but we had the most people we had 23 people, pouring down the rain, 20 degrees up on the mountain. It was probably lower than that because the higher up you go, the colder it gets. And it just made it almost impossible. And it's like every time we go to search, we get a blizzard, tornado comes, it just feels like the weather is fighting against us. And that was the other thing back in January. I mean, they had 34 inches of snow up there. So we were waiting on that to melt. And that finally did on February 8th when we held the last search. And we were able to get some cadaver dogs, and still up on that mountain, it was still just too cold. And it was just, we were basically told we really need to wait till spring.
Sure. How many people were on the search?
23.
23?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You know how many miles you went? Did you do grid patterns?
Yes. So basically the dogs when the dogs go out on a search, you got to keep them away from everyone else because they have a job to do, and they get distracted very easily. And so we sent them in an opposite direction as to where all the people were going. And so we had side by sides, we had trucks, we had 4-wheelers, we had people on foot. So we had like a team on foot, we had some on side by sides, and we had the dog. And so we kind of sent a team to this area and searched about a mile or 2 radius. And then we had the team on foot that searched a mile or 2 radius. And then the team on side by side searched a mile or 2 radius. And so that consists of about 5 people. So when you have we were told how to do a grid search. It's best if you break into groups and you kind of lock arms and you kind of walk side by side. And we just thought we will, 23 people will break into, we'll send this group with the dogs and this group here. It's really hard to do up there. The terrain is really steep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So it's
like ultra marathon level.
Yeah.
And are there trails or anything, or is
not really? I mean,
just kind of walking in the woods.
Yep. You're just kind of.
Do you kind of flag on a tree like, okay?
So my dad did start putting ribbon on trees that he had already been in the area to search, and he kind of gave us that was a great idea. And so we were like, yeah, let's do that, just to know like where we had been. and
Cool.
where our steps had been.
Makes sense. Has there been any organizations reach out to you to kind of volunteer?
Yes.
Or?
So actually, I am in contact with the Voices for the Silenced, and they have been phenomenal. They've actually printed off flyers for us.
Very nice.
And so they have been very, very helpful.
Yeah, I have the flyer on the drive, right? Yeah, let me find it.
Yes, that's it.
That's
Yep.
it. Okay.
Yep. And so very, very lovely people. They do have some teams that when the weather breaks to where we can get on the mountainside, they do have teams that they're going to provide us with. We would like more. The more, the merrier. Of course, any help that we can get at all would be appreciated. Awesome.